Welcome to the channel. Thanks for giving me a good watching, Bruni. My name is Loki, and I'm here to say I'm just gonna be a random bullshitter. I don't know. Has it been 30 seconds? Oh wait, no, it hasn't. Well, I'm not monetized yet, so who gives a shit? I'm gonna be doing some RPG horror stories today. Hopefully you can. How do I say it? Yes, enjoy the show. I really do hope you enjoyed these stories. I only have two for you today and probably more later on. So, first story is Boulder Gates messed up my game. Have fun with that. And now my horns are going to read that story for you, and I'll leave you with some commentary afterwards. So, bye.
I wanted to write this here because I feel like for once you would all like to hear a story where nobody is a bad guy. And everyone had a good time, but there was still a disruption. Of the 6 people in my Wednesday game, 5 of us had been playing Baldur's Gate 3 since it was released. Basically non-stop. The resulting effect was 4 of the people, 1 player was moving on Wednesday, waddling into the game, dragging themselves away from it by force. All with the coordination and mental faculties of drunken toddlers with amnesia. Myself, the DM, included. For the life of us, we could not remember what had happened last game, and between all 5 of us, it took us a half hour to scrounge up enough details to play, and probably another 20 minutes to stop talking about Baldur's Gate 3. It took all of our mental energy to not just talk about the game the entire time.
Okay, now this seems like a fun party to have fun with. I'm not gonna lie. These chuckleheads are just enjoying the story or enjoying a video game. For my example, my parties or my groups tend to actually go on wild tangents and usually just derail the game, and we have to okay, what we have to be like, oh, we gotta get back to the story, and we do that all the time, and it seems very lighthearted. They're all just chuckleheads having some fun, and I'm enjoying this story because the drunken toddlers with amnesia line just got to me. It is so funny. I love it. Thank you for the user that made this story. You have made my light. Time to destroy that light. This next story is called DM threw a hissy fit over a Hero Forge token. Left because I didn't want to play a teenager. What the hell? Okay. This is gonna be weird.
2 of my friends are going to be headed off to college, so I'm being forced to wrap up one of our stories, and everyone's schedules are getting a bit tighter. Except myself. So, with a hole in my schedule, I decide, what the heck, and hit the LFG search on Roll20 before I head off to work. See a 5e game recruiting at a time I'm free, and it seemed like a cool concept, so I apply. Get added to Discord server. 6 players, plus me. Seems big. Apparently their cleric and rogue just left. What killed the rogue? Oh, nothing special. Just a power word kill spell from a County Route 21 lich. That they apparently encountered at level 3. That was red flag number 1. I pitch him my first character. Paladin to replace their dead cleric. However, DM warns me that this game takes place in a jungle, and I read in the Discord server that using heavier armor means I'd need to make constant checks to avoid becoming fatigued. Now, 5e is not my home system, so I don't think this is a big deal, but when I Google the exhaustion rules in 5e I find out that they are a really big deal, so I change ideas from a paladin bard to a bard. Wanted to keep the same backstory. DM told me it was too paladin, so I had to change it. Red flag number 2. I change my subclass from valor to lore to be more bard-like. Try to think up a cool backstory. The backstory I came up with was that he's a 35 to 40-year-old ex-con man who grew up on the streets, but then the church called to him and he wanted to turn his life around and become a preacher working with the church to fight some necromancers down south. Sounded cool to me. The reason I mention this is because it's gonna be important shortly. I tried to talk to the other players in the Discord server. Nobody's really responding. Everyone seems to be ignoring my messages and talking mechanics. No worries. Don't think much of it. DM tells me to make a token on Heretofore. I do. And I make the following token.
Okay. I power word kill on a rogue? What the heck? I'm gonna say this. I looked over the story and I know what happens after a while, but basically using a power word kill on what level? A level 1 or so character? Dude, you should never do that. It's like, why? Why you want to do that? To show how powerful the enemy is? Okay, then tell them, hey, he's going to do something else. DM should have planned ahead, but no. He said, might as well use power word kill on this bastard. It's kind of heartbreaking that this guy's first jaunt into 5e is with a douchebag. And I take that word lightly. But when you're going to go with the mechanics for exhaustion, it doesn't really work that way. It's mainly if you skip a couple of long rests. Unless he's using a homebrew mechanic, then oh fudge. You're boned if he's using a homebrew version of the mechanic. It's like, yeah, some DMs are good people, and some of them aren't. For example, if I was going to have a campaign in the jungle, it's going to be like you can wear your armor, but you're going to have to take it off because it's going to get sweaty and you're going to be stanky. So I will say you can wear that armor, but you're going to need to take it off if needed. Because there's some places where that armor is not going to be useful. But I'll be open with the players. Be open with the players. They say, hey, I know you want to play this character. How about we offer some suggestions for that said character to work in this said environment? Like, give them, I don't know, elven male or what? I don't know if they're telling me what level they started at, but dang, man. It's just like, why? Why are you being so mean to this guy that you probably never met before?
DM asks for a link to the token. I send him the above screenshot. Nah, DM wants the actual configuration link to my token. Quote, redacted. Yesterday at 6:37 p.m. because I make the tokens a certain way. I tweak coloration to show up on the maps better, as well as the borders. And as I've stated, I think, unless it got changed, your token needs to represent your gear accurately. So for example, if your sheet has a breastplate on, but your token is walking around in clothes, that's not accurate. I ask him if there's something wrong with my token. He helpfully explains that it looks like my token is using padded armor. And if I wanted to sell my starting leather armor to buy padded? I told him why he seemed to care so much how my token was decorated. Was I only allowed to pick mini parts on HeroForge that specifically said, leather? And well, red flag number 3 was when he posted at party post in the main Discord detailing a range of, in-game, ages for everyone's character. I regret not screenshotting this post, as I no longer have access to this Discord server. But to paraphrase, he wanted us to pick ages, in line with the module he was running, and in line with the official guidelines published by WOTC. Most of us were rolling humans, so the range he gave us was between 16 and 21 years old. Yeah, that feeling you're feeling right now? That's how I still am feeling. Suffice to say, I sent him a message going, WTF, I don't want to be a teenager. Greg is like a 35+ ex-gangster. Why do you care so much about what my token looks like? And well, I'm just gonna post his response verbatim. I wanted to write this here, because I feel like for once you would all like to hear a story where nobody is a bad guy. And everyone had a good time, but there was still a disruption. Of the 6 people in my Wednesday game, 5 of us had been playing Baldur's Gate 3 since it was released. Basically non-stop. The resulting effect was 4 of the people, 1 player was moving on Wednesday, waddling into the game, dragging themselves away from it by force. all with the coordination and mental faculties of drunken toddlers with amnesia. Myself, the DM, included. For the life of us, we could not remember what had happened last game, and between all 5 of us, it took us a half hour to scrounge up enough details to play, and probably another 20 minutes to stop talking about Baldur's Gate 3. It took all of our mental energy to not just talk about the game the entire time.
Okay. So, I want to say this. 5e is kind of watered down, but here's the thing. Other systems aren't watered down. Look at Pathfinder. I'm looking on using a Pathfinder game. Maybe in the future, maybe not. I don't know yet. But it's complicated. It's crunchy, word crunchy, basically. And you have to look through a lot of stuff. Like, you gotta pre-plan your character and stuff in Pathfinder. For fuck's sake, there's a system called Kids on Bikes. It's super simple, and you can do that. But 5e is more or less the, how do I say this? Training wheels, in my opinion, for TTRPGs. And yes, don't get me started on the WotC AI and whatnot ordeal, because I am looking at it. You're looking at me making 3D art for B-roll. But it's very hard for me to say, okay, this is the worst dev team, because I'm looking at Bigsby's book of the book of many things, and did they add some stuff to make it look like they're grandstanding? Yes, I will admit to that. But they have a good idea. The Bigsby's Glory to the Giants, I can care less. I have a friend getting that book, and he's gonna try out the barbarian race. I mean, subclass. God dang it, tongue. But I'm just very confused on why he's using a 5e, I repeat, a 5e game when he's more comfortable with 3.5. Makes no sense. If the system's 5e, then just use 5e. I'm just going to go on a rant after a while, but I saw the picture for the character, and it looks very bardy. I will allow that shit in my games. I will admit to that. I will allow that very not delicious, fantastic looking bard in my games. And I use Sierra Forge once in a while, and I experimented with it. So I made a lot of things I don't know if I can post the pictures on, because I'm not that good at editing. But yeah, they are all over the place. Majority of them have guns, so but after a while you just have to say, dude, what hurt you, or whatever. I might be rambling right now. I am sorry, but if you like what you see, you like what you heard, minus that loud clap, because I am sorry about that. Please give me a like, subscribe, and anything else. I'll see you next time whenever I feel like making a video. Bye.